Like, okay, you say like your sister was your sister was your shadow, or you are the shadow to your sister?
She was my shadow, so I was following the shadow.
Yeah, you're following the shadow.
You were the shadow to your sister.
No.
Which is it? Okay, market first.
Your sister was following her shadow. You're following your sister's shadow.
Oh yeah, she's following her. So she was her sister's shadow.
Yeah, you were.
Anyway, you get it.
You get the point.
If you don't get it, is what. If you don't get it, forget
it.
about it. Okay, like I used to follow your sister.
You look so hard, but you can't see enough. Just find it and take it, don't ever regret it. Make me your only one. You choose it, don't lose it, don't let confuse it. Only then you'll be gone. Feel like.
Hey guys, hey lovies, hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, welcome to Jojo's channel. And as I promised you, we're gonna be having a series. We are having a series about insecurities. And before we jump in, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and turn on that notification bell button. And always be reminded that God loves you and we love you too. So here we have two cute girls.
Are we cute?
Are they beautiful? They're beautiful. They're created in God's image, so they're beautiful. So they're gonna introduce themselves and they're gonna share with us about the insecurities growing up, how they were able to overcome, and if there are some that they're really still going through. So I don't know is it on my right or left? Who's ready to go first? You guys can introduce yourselves to my lovely
I'll
people.
go first.
Sure.
Which camera? Sorry.
Just focus on that. Yeah.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Naomi. I'm Jojo's roommate.
Housemate.
Housemate. Yeah, I mean, apartment. It just feels like we live in one room, anyways.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think today we're talking about insecurities and.
Where do you come from, actually?
Oh yeah, actually I come from Kenya. I think the same country as Jojo.
Yeah.
Though we live in different cities. Actually, I grew up in Nairobi, but later on I went to Mombasa. I don't even know if you guys know, but anyways, it's a different city.
For those who know.
Those who know.
Or those who care to know.
And those who care to know.
Yeah,
actually, Mombasa is very beautiful. So.
It's like she's advertising. So cut. Okay, and to you. What can you introduce yourself?
Okay, I don't think I'm new to this channel, so
you know.
For those of you that don't know me, my name is Tifundo. Some of you know me as Chichi.
Most of us know you as Chichi.
Yeah,
but like my full name is Tifundo. And yeah, I'm from Malawi. They're just friends.
She's not my housemate or my roommate. She's my friend. So today we're gonna talk, as we've told you. I'm gonna just remind you guys. We are talking about insecurities. You growing up, obviously, as a child, there's some things that you really, when someone mentions it, it triggered something, or maybe your self-esteem was kind of lowered in some ways. So you guys are just gonna share with us like what are those things and how are you able to overcome it, or are you still struggling through? And up to right now, how are you handling it? So,
for me, my biggest one I would say was like growing up. It's something I think I overcame.
Mm-hmm.
But then growing up, because I grew up as an only child, and my parents used to go to work during the day, and I was usually at home by myself during the day, especially during holidays. Maybe the biggest thing will be like I never used to go out, and then my friends would be like, "Oh, we went to this place, we went to that place." I'm like, "Okay, I can't really go out because that time we were living in Nairobi. Nairobi, for those who know, it's not very safe for like 8-year-olds or 9-year-olds out there." So like when I go to school and I hear my friends saying, "Oh, we went to Mamba Village, we went to Village Market, we went to this park, we went to this place." I even went with my brothers and sisters. We didn't really have our parents around. I used to long for that freedom, like sometimes, parents they're kind of protective, too protective, yeah. Too protective. And when you're with your siblings or older cousins or something, it's more, you have more freedom to do more things. And I used to long for that because most of my cousins live in different places, most of my relatives live in different places. So we were never really that close. So I think that was my biggest thing.
Like, how was it kind of like insecure for you? Like your parents going out and leaving you alone and not really being able to experience what other kids are experiencing. What was it like, an insecure? Like which point did it look like it's an insecurity for you?
I'll say like, especially when I was 10 years old, and I don't know, I think that time I'd gone to boarding school. Yeah. And like in boarding school, you have no option but to interact with the people around you, with the kids around you. And like some conversations you can't really relate because you don't really know much. People are like, oh yeah, you know, in Mama Village there's this thing and there's that thing, and they talk for 1 hour about it, but you can't really relate.
So they're like,
You're just there.
okay.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. And you know, such points, especially, yeah, not really being able to integrate into the conversations with my friends. That was my biggest issue. And maybe just, you know, I like exploring new places and just knowing that others have gone and I haven't, and that I had an opportunity to make me very insecure. But all in all, I mean, like growing up right now, I think becoming a grown up, I have more freedom to move as much as I can, as much as the finances can allow.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I think that was my biggest insecurity as a child. Yeah.
What about you? Like, did you feel the same way? Like, maybe, of course, you're not like really as her, the only child. Like, okay, you feel left out because for you, like, you have siblings, and maybe most of the time you will go with your parents, if not with your sibling. How was it for you?
Well, for me, like, thank God I'm the second born, so I really just had to walk in the shadow of my sister. So, like, we grew up together, and we don't really have, like, much of a age difference, and people thought we were twins, actually, like, growing up. So, actually, it's going to, like, connect to what I was going to say. So, like, after middle school, I was planning on going to the same high school with my sister. And then I applied, but then, you know, like,
Like, no,
yeah. I'm like, no,
They
don't you
rejected
be
you?
here.
don't want you.
Yeah, so like for me it was really hard to take that in because like since nursery middle school we went to the same school. Like even clothes we used to wear like the same clothes and you know like,
It's like
everything
twins.
together,
Just
Yeah.
like twins, yeah.
Yeah, but then like after middle school, like being separated and all that, like it was so hard for me to take in. Like I had to be independent on my own because most times like if I'm to do something, I would ask my sister like, okay, what should I do, you know, and then she would guide me through. But then like since then I was like, okay, now I have to, you know, like depend on myself
To grow up.
be reliable, you know, like yeah. So like for me it was hard. I remember like I cried.
Oh.
Like going to high school, I cried because I felt like okay, I'm gonna be alone now, like without my sister. So yeah.
So like you being dependent of your sister, it made you insecure. Like when you're in a position like, okay, in this you're alone, you don't have your sister, you don't have like someone you can depend on.
Yeah, because you know, like I mean, in middle school, sometimes you know you'd argue with your friends, like you know, silly fights and all that. And I'd always run to my sister, and she'd come to like, oh, don't mess up with my sister and all that. But now, like I had to stand up for myself. Like I had to be there. Like if I need something, I would have to say it. Like there would be no one to say it for me. So like yeah, it was, you know, it was hard just because I didn't have a shadow to follow. Yeah, but then at the same time, I'm grateful that we didn't go to the same high school because like I got to be independent. You know, I learned how to, you know, like make new friends and all that. It was like in middle school, my sister's friends were my friends. But now, like, I had to learn how to, you know, like meet new people.
Make your
and then,
own
yeah, like
friends.
make my own friends and then socialize. Yeah.
So like you guys, you've talked about like for you talked about like being alone and not really being involved in like the things that you felt like because your parents were home a lot, not really home. You grew up as an only child, and you felt like your parents were overprotective, and so you couldn't really like go to many places.
Yeah.
Like, how did you overcome that, or is this like something that you were still going through? Because like looking at it, you're insecure because there's some of the things that you couldn't really like, you know, you want to also like, yeah, me too, I went to this and this place, but you're like, I can't really relate what you guys are really talking about. How did you feel like being left out, and how did you overcome that? Like, it's okay not to go to these places. How did you like? At what point did you feel like, okay, it's okay?
So I mean, during those times, of course, I used to feel really, I don't know. I used to feel bad, you know, kind of sad. I'm like, oh, I wish I could be involved in this conversation. I wish I could be able to relate with what they're saying and everything. But I mean, I think, I don't know if I intentionally overcome it. I think I just, it overcame itself with time. As I grew up, I kind of caught up with everything. You know, if there are places my friends used to go and I haven't been, I think I would just go by myself, and when having conversations, I can kind of relate and everything. Or, you know, with age, also there are different experiences we experience. Probably the experiences your peers and you have at 10 years old are not the experiences you'll have at 15. So, or, okay, not 15, maybe 18 or 20.
Yeah, sure.
So I think at that level, I was kind of, you know, we were, my peers and I were kind of the same, you know. Like if it's about going to places or experiencing things, we kind of had the same experiences. But as a child, it was really, I mean, you know, as a child, you want to be really involved with community and your friends because your friends, apart from your parents, your friends are all you have and the social life that you have around you. So I think as a child, that was really hard. But growing up, it just kind of went because I became a grown up, had more freedom, and my friends and I would go to places together, and through that, we're able to relate more.
Like, okay, because so many times when you look at sometimes it's like there's some things that we go through when we are really young, and it ends up like some people maybe don't really pay attention on that, but it really affects us as we are grown. Do you think like that moment that you feel like you missed, has it really affected you right now?
I don't know. I don't know if it's really affected
Because sometimes like I look at it and I'm like maybe at me growing up there's some things like actually like try to read like you know the body, there's a book, the body keeps the
I
score,
read it
like
also.
you know when you're 2 years whatever that happens it really affects you in the future. You might not really know, but if your parents used to leave you crying, never paying attention, you look at it and you're like, yeah, it is something I'm maybe I like attached. It's like, okay, I don't want to, I feel like if this friend goes, I really like I'm gonna really lose. So you want to really be attached to that person. So like for now you haven't really like realized if it affected you.
No, I haven't really thought deep about it actually. It's something maybe I can think more, but maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. But I think it has because every experience kind of affects us in some way.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think probably the reason I haven't thought about it a lot is because it's no longer an insecurity right now. It's like I just kind of overcame it naturally. And it doesn't really bother me, but maybe it's shaped how I am, maybe it shapes my personality, maybe it shaped my experiences or how I react to things. So I will think about it.
Okay, like what do you have to tell to your parents? Like, is it something you're grateful about them, like just closing you, not really closing you in a room, I'm sorry to use the word, but like you not really being able to, them not really giving you that opportunity to go where your friends used to go? Is it something that, what do you have, like what do you want to tell your parents right now when you look back?
When I look back, I will tell my parents, I don't really blame them because at that point we didn't really have a lot and everyone was trying to make money and there was no other option, you know. It's either leave me in at home or go with them to work, of which my dad was a teacher, my mom was studying. So when I look back, I'm like, I don't really, I think I just forgave them and saw from their point of view that it's okay. And that's what they knew best, you know. If they thought something else was better, they would have done it. But at that point of their lives and at that point of my life, I think that's what they thought was best. And yeah, I appreciate. I know they love me actually. So
yeah, actually, why I'm saying this is because sometimes when we have grown up, we end up like blaming our parents for something that, okay, we missed or something that has affected us right now. But the best thing, as you've said, it is like to also look at their point of view.
Yeah.
When we look at that, we're like, yeah, that is maybe all they had to offer, or that is what they knew best. Yeah. Okay, back to you. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to balance. You know, like okay, you say like your sister was your sister was your shadow, or you are the shadow to your sister?
She was my shadow, so I was following the shadow.
Yeah, you're following the
You
shadow.
were the shadow to your sister.
No.
Which is it? Okay, first.
Your sister was you're following your sister's shadow.
Oh yeah, she's following us. So she was her sister's shadow.
Yeah, you were.
I know, you get it.
You get the point.
If you don't get it, is what. If you don't get it,
Forget about it.
Okay, like I used to follow your sister as the shadow. Okay, let's put it down.
Yeah.
Okay, like look, now it's reached a point like, okay, girl, you have to grow
You
up.
have to grow up, yeah.
Like, how did you feel? Like, how was it for you? Was it easy? Like, okay, I got this, you know? Or was it like really rough for you? How was it? That was the experience.
It was really rough for me, to be honest, because I mean, like, you know, like you're growing up with someone who is always there for you. Like, we go for, you know, like holidays and all that. She's always there. Like, I don't even have to worry, like, what am I going to talk about with my cousins? You know, like my sister is just gonna gonna make a conversation with them. But yeah, like it was rough in a way that, you know, like I had to make decisions for myself. I don't know, maybe I could call it separation anxiety. I don't know if that word exists.
Separation and anxiety is but put together.
Separation anxiety, because
Now we get your point.
yeah, like, okay, fine. Like I got used to, you know, like the boarding life and all that. Till like she had to now leave for Turkey. So like at home now,
I was the elder.
Yeah, I feel like
Yes.
fine at school, I'm alone. I'm used to that now. But now, like at home, we'd still meet up during holidays and all that. But now, like, she had to move away from home now. And, like, I have 2 younger siblings, like,
We
waking
had
up
to
to
take
me.
over.
Yeah, now I had to take over that role again. So it's like, okay, separation anxiety again. I remember, like, when she was leaving, okay, like, the first time she left, I wasn't at home. Of which when they told me, I broke down, like, okay, why didn't you, like, take me from school, at least say bye to your sister and all that. But then they're like, no, we felt like we were going to tell you later and all that. But yeah, that happened. So yeah, like, so what was your other question again?
My question was just like, how was it for you? Like, was it really an easier thing, like, for you to, just from being someone's shadow or like being totally dependent on someone into like, taking that role of like, okay, you're the one responsible of, you have to make friends, you have to go out there and do everything. Like, how, like, you said it was really, really hard for you, but how did you do it?
How did I do it? I think because I didn't really have an option. So, like, for example, at home, if they need someone to do something, like, they would call me because now I'm the firstborn. Okay, not the firstborn,
The eldest.
Yeah, like the eldest, so they had to depend on me and I had, like, show up like, okay, I can do this, And I remember, like, there was a time at church. So, my father was preaching, right? And he needed an interpreter.
From which language to which language?
Like English to
Chichewa.
like Chichewa,
Oh,
yeah.
Nyanja.
Yeah, you can call it Nyanja.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, there was always someone to interpret for him, but that day, the person didn't show up, And then I'm there, like, minding my business, like, obviously, they wouldn't call me, And then that's how he just pointed out, like, come in front. It's like, whoa, okay, like.
And were you confident, like, was it that time, like, okay, I can speak, I'm confident, like, speaking before the crowd?
No, the thing is, I think I wasn't so prepared. Maybe if it was something that we had planned about it, yeah, but then it was just something that, like, we had to find a solution to it, And then, like, obviously I didn't want to embarrass my father, like, okay, I can't come and all that. So I had to go just for the sake of not embarrassing my father. I had to, but then in my mind I was like, if Tim was here, should have been the one doing this, So I mean, like, I was so scared, like, throughout the whole preaching, the whole sermon, and like, I was just shaking. I would make mistakes, like, some of the mistakes that I didn't even have to make. I estimate those mistakes just because I was, like, scared. I wasn't confident enough. But then, yeah, like, with time, I just had to accept the fact that, okay, I have to be responsible. Like, if they need my help, I have to show up and do, like, whatever I can possible.
Looking back, I want her to look back. Looking back, do you think it was like a good opportunity? Because sometimes some people live in our lives so that we can realize who we are. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like
push it to your potential.
Push you to your potential, because now you're just the shadow, but now it's like, okay, you had to be, the real image.
I had to be the real image.
Like, do you think like it has helped you grow to be a confident person, not to be a reliant or something like that?
Yeah, it actually has. Because, like, sometimes how you have cousins or friends and then they take you to the church, And mostly back home, they have these Sunday schools. And for me, like, meeting new people is just something so stressful for me. Like, you go there and they're like, okay, newcomers, stand up, introduce yourself. I'm like, oh my God, I have to do this. So, I mean, like, having my sister there, I knew, like, okay, someone is beside me. Like, I won't be the only newcomer, But now, like, growing up now, like, without her, I knew, like, if I'm going to a new place, I have to be confident enough to speak for myself and, like, just not embarrass myself, like, okay, I'm shy and all that. So, yeah, I would say it helped me. Like, I had to, like, step up, be independent, be confident, and, yeah, be reliable.
Okay, as you've heard, that is the first. Everyone has given their first insecurities. Guys, so don't forget to tune in. I know it is really, like, exciting. I know maybe some of you can relate with everything that they've said. So don't forget to tune in to our next part, the coming episode. Is it the episode? The other next part of Insecurities with Naomi and with Chichi. Chifundo, she said. But I know her as Chichi. So, guys, we're going to close.
Is it going to be a Kenyan name?
Kenyan name? We don't have
We adopt a Kenyan name.
Why Derero?
That doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good. I'm sorry.
No, it's Why Derero.
No, I think we're good.
Okay, guys, as I've said, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and turn on that notification bell button. And always be reminded that
God loves you.
And we love you too. And you have a purpose.
Wait, we love you, but God loves you more.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. These people should be watching more of my videos. Ouch. I feel. Bye. You can cut.
Bye.